Lake Vostok, you're standing on ice that stretches to the horizon, and beneath your boots, buried under 4 kilometers of frozen white, sits a lake that hasn't seen sunlight since before humans existed. For over 2 decades, a Russian team drilled straight toward it. In February 2012, the drill finally broke through, and water surged up the borehole and froze instantly, almost like the lake sealed itself shut on purpose. Here's what breaks the assumption. Under that much pressure, the water below isn't frozen at all. It's liquid kept warm from deep inside the earth, hidden in total darkness for possibly 25 million years. When scientists tested it, they found traces of life that didn't match anything in their database. Unconfirmed, unexplained. If something this size can hide for millions of years under our feet, what else has this planet been keeping quiet? Mariana Trench. Now go the opposite direction. Down into open ocean, past the point where sunlight disappears completely, to the lowest point in any ocean on Earth. The Challenger Deep, nearly 11 kilometers down. For 60 years, more people had walked on the moon than had ever reached the bottom of this trench. That number only just changed once explorers built something that could survive pressure equal to 50 jumbo jets stacked on top of your body. When cameras finally reached the ocean floor, they found something nobody expected. Life. Pale, strange creatures gliding through complete blackness, some with no bones at all, built to bend instead of break under that kind of weight. Every expedition down there still finds species no one has ever cataloged. Veryovkina Cave. At first, it looks like just another hole in the mountainside. Drop something inside and you won't hear it land. Reaching the bottom in the mountains of Abkhazia takes days, not minutes, sleeping in tents bolted straight into the rock along the way. For years, this was considered the single deepest cave ever found, though a rival system in the same mountain range keeps trading the record as new measurements come in. Even that keeps changing. Sudden floods can fill the tunnels in minutes, trapping cavers hundreds of meters below anyone who could help. And still, blind fish and pale insects survive down there in water no sunlight has ever touched. A hidden lake, an unexplored trench, now a cave whose own depth record can't stay settled. 3 of the most extreme places on the planet, and none of them are fully understood yet. North Sentinel Island. It sounds impossible, but there's an island almost no outsider has ever safely reached. It sits in the Bay of Bengal, close enough that passing boats can see its beaches. Get too close and the response is immediate. Figures step out from the tree line, arrows fly toward the boat. It's happened for centuries, to fishermen whose boats drifted too close, and in 2018 to an American who tried to make contact anyway. He didn't survive it. It's easy to assume they're simply dangerous. But here's the flip. The real danger was never what they could do to us. It's what we could do to them. Thousands of years without contact means their bodies have no defense against something as ordinary as a cold. One visit could wipe out the entire population within weeks. That's why patrol boats now circle a coastline they aren't allowed to land on, protecting the most isolated people on Earth from us. They're not the only thing this planet has kept alive by keeping it hidden. Movile Cave. The strange thing is this one wasn't found by explorers. Workers drilling into the ground in Romania, testing soil for a power plant, broke into a space that hadn't touched the surface world in over 5 million years. No sunlight, no air anyone could breathe safely for more than a few hours. When researchers finally climbed inside wearing protective suits, they found the walls covered in something alive. Every food chain on the surface of this planet starts with sunlight. Down here, there is none to use. Instead, bacteria feed on toxic gas, building an entire food web out of chemistry most people have never heard of. Blind spiders, transparent shrimp, leeches that have never seen anything in a world running on different rules than the ones that built us. Life doesn't need what we assumed it always needed, just needs a place nobody has found. Son Doong Cave. For a moment, forget everything you just pictured because none of it compares to this. Somewhere in the jungles of central Vietnam sits a cave so large it doesn't just contain darkness, it contains its own weather. Clouds form near the ceiling, rain falls from indoor mist. Sections of the roof collapsed so long ago that sunlight pours through, and a jungle has grown beneath it, full-sized trees rising toward stone. A single chamber here is large enough to fit a skyscraper. The entrance alone is wide enough to fly a jumbo jet through. A local man found the entrance once, hiding from a storm, and it took 20 years before anyone explored it. More people have stood on the summit of Everest than have ever walked through it. Satellites map every road and rooftop on this planet, and still, this stayed hidden for generations. That should unsettle you. We've photographed the surface of Mars in more detail than parts of our own planet. The most unexplored places on Earth were never on some distant continent, or buried at the bottom of the ocean, or sealed behind ice. They were always right here, waiting to be noticed. And the uncomfortable truth is there are almost certainly more of them, closer than you think, than anyone has ever found.